So welcome everybody to Open Kitchen. This Open Kitchen AMA thing is it's kind of a recurring event where we, as a DAO, are trying to present what we have built recently, what we're working on, and so on, to make sure that everybody's in the loop with things. And there's been a lot of updates since we had the last Open Kitchen, which was in what was it, like before Christmas last year. A lot of things has happened since then. I can kick off with some of the highlights, and then other chefs here on the stage could probably help me out if there's something I'm missing. But since so everybody here knows that what Marinade does is liquid staking, and we're utilizing a delegation formula that is spreading all the stake that people stake through Marinade to almost all the validators on the Solana network. We don't send any stake to the super minority, the top 19 validators, to make sure we improve the decentralization of the stake on the validator network. And as of this day, we stake to more than 400 validators on the network, vastly improving the growth and the security of Solana. It's been quite a ride since we got going in August last year. And since December, since our last Open Kitchen, a lot of things has happened. Let me address some of that now. So we kicked off the bounty program in partnership with Immunify, and that program is still live. And that is part of our efforts to make sure that Marinade is secure. I mean, as everybody knows, we have done 3 audits and are continuously working on the security aspects of things. And the Immunify bounty program is part of this effort. As we have also started kicking off a lot of the staking integrations as well, where other projects can integrate SOL to MSOL staking on their platform. And so we have a referral program connected to that as well. And one of the big news in mid-December was that Solflare, big wallet provider on Solana, has implemented this integration, which we're really proud of. And that has helped securing Solana even further. So Solflare is proper decentralizers together with us. And there's many, many more platforms and projects that has done these integrations. The list is so long, so I don't want to steal too much time here. We're also worked hard on helping a lot of DeFi and NFT projects out there to deal with their treasury in a more capital efficient way as well. And there's a huge list now of both DeFi and NFT projects that are utilizing MSOL to take care of the treasury in a more sustainable, resilient manner as well. As you know, MSOL generates staking yield, but you could also use MSOL in the DeFi ecosystem to get even more yield. And there's many of these projects that are increasing the treasury thanks for this. So that's one really cool thing as well. We've been working hard on. We have also done a lot on the community side with recurring AMAs as well. Once a week is what we're trying to do when it comes to the AMAs with other ecosystem partners that are using MSOL and trying to help us decentralize, or together with us, decentralize Solana and secure Solana. Last AMA we had was with Step Finance yesterday. That was a pretty cool AMA, and we're going to continue to do this once a week to highlight some of the cool projects out there in the Solana ecosystem. And other than that, we're also stepping up in the community to do more events around games and fun things as well for those who enjoy that. So we had the game with the Mysteria guys, the puzzle game that was extremely difficult puzzles to solve. I didn't solve a single puzzle myself, but it was fun anyway. And then tomorrow we're having this race game with Alpha League Racing as well, which is also just a really cool game to have fun with as well. They have some NFTs connected to that too, which is pretty cool. So that's up tomorrow. And there will be more games as we move forward as well. As you guys know, like the GameFi or the GameFi side of the ecosystem is growing quite quickly. And we've also been launched our forum as well during this period. We have a lot of cool posts on the forum, and I would advise anybody who's interested in Marinade to visit the forum and take part in the discussions there. It can be hard at times to keep up with all the things happening in the chats in our Discord. The forum is a great way to take part in discussions that really affect things within Marinade. So it's kind of like we talk about things in the chat here and vibe a little bit. And then when something crystallizes from the chats we bring it to the forum where we could talk about this with more thoughts behind each post as well. So if you have some cool perspective of things or on what do you think the Marinade should do or just anything really that you think is beneficial to Marinade, just write a post about it in the forum and let's discuss it. So that's one thing as well we did. And then we did a rebrand too. We had our like Solana gradient shep thing going on there for a while, but we made it even cooler now together with Ellie, our lead designer. Huge improvement in my opinion. And some really cute animals involved here too as our mascots. So the rebrand was huge for us. We put a lot of effort into it. So personally, very satisfied with how it looks like, and it seems like our community likes it as well, which is awesome. And then I also would like to highlight another thing that has happened since December, and that is that we kind of if you guys recall, we were in the Breakpoint conference in Portugal back in November, and since then we were like 9 people at that time. And now we're like more than 50 people in the DAO actively contributing to what Marinade is doing here, which is a huge scale up, the most aggressive scale up I've ever experienced myself. And it's been quite a ride. And within the DAO, there's so many big brains over there doing a lot of good work for Marinade. And super excited to see what comes out of all of these different projects within the DAO as well. So I guess that's a quick wrap up of the things that happened since December. And if any other chef have something to add to this, please do so. Just unmute your microphone and add to this quick little recap of what happened since December.
Maybe I can speak a little bit about the front-end app that you already mentioned, the rebrand. I just wanted to mention that we invested a lot into the code and the processes behind building the app. So it's not only rebranded, that meaning of like it only looks different a little bit. There's also much more robust code. A lot of it was rewritten. It has some DevOps processes behind it, and its overall should be faster, more optimized, and more robust app overall, with some additional stuff. Like you can see that on the DeFi page, there's multiple projects listed. We're working together with multiple projects that are also implementing their pools as we speak. And you can even see on the bottom of the DeFi page that you can suggest some other projects or even start working on implementing your own project. So I feel like it's slowly becoming the hub for the Ensol usage. And compared to a few months ago where there was only few cards, it's now like a list of multiple projects, pools, lending protocols, and so on. So I feel like that's a really a community effort that was put into the DeFi page. Yeah, so that's just for the front end side.
Cool. So what happened on the back end side, Lucio? Maybe you could pinpoint some cool highlight since December.
Oh yeah, I think the most interesting thing was the referral program. The referral program is working really, really good. One of our main referral partners is Solrise wallet. Maybe a lot of you have seen that already. And I think the last time we checked, we got almost 750,000 Sol stake through Solflare and through the referral program. So I think this is let's say a key into making Marinade more integrated into the entire ecosystem until we, let's say, dissolve into a DAO that is used by everybody. I say this from the start. I think Marinade and MSol is like part of the infrastructure. It's what Solana staking should have been from the start. So the referral program is doing a great job in our, let's say, final objective is that is dissolving into the Solana ecosystem.
Yeah, that's definitely a major highlight from December. And I was thinking also, I mentioned the rebrand, which was a big thing as well. And Ellie, you as our lead designer, what was the highlight of the rebrand from your point of view?
I think actually the highlight was that no one hated it. Nobody was really nice to actually be able to start from scratch and to create a brand that I felt was a fair representation of what Marinade is. Our amazing community, like all the people that we work with and who support us, felt like it was it was just nice to be able to do a visual representation of our amazing community.
Well said, and I think the animals really capture that in a real good way as well. And Serba, Alex, if I may get your attention for a second, you have been doing a huge amount of work, both internally but also externally, when it comes to updating the documentation of Marinade in our docs. What would be the main highlights from your perspective since December around this aspect?
Well, I think I can make the same observation as Eli, which is the best docs is the docs where you don't have a lot of comments that people don't understand it or are missing information. So I don't know if everyone remembers, but a few months ago, the docs hadn't been a priority, and I feel that now we cover most of the protocol. So I'd say that we used most of the community input to make it better, and we tried to adapt it to the growth Marinade had been through, and it had nice results. If I had to make a feedback on this.
Yeah, indeed. And also, what I really enjoy is that getting started section in the docs that is very friendly to the new Solana user as well. And for those listening here in the audience who are new to Solana, I just pasted a link to that section of our documentation in the Open Kitchen AMA chat. This is the link. I replied to that link as well. So if you are new to Solana and looking to understand Marinade better and get going with supporting the Solana network with staking, just head over to that How to Stake Sol to get more acquainted with it. Kudos to Alex or Serba who made that happen. Okay, so Brandon, you came into the picture as well during this period, and you have been doing a huge amount of work regarding improving the communications in general when it comes to how we talk about Marinade and so on. What would be the main highlight for you during this period?
Hi, Seb. It's been a lot of fun being with the team. I started at the beginning of the year to assist with the communications on social and Medium and YouTube and everywhere. And it's a fun story to tell because it integrates with Solana so seamlessly, and it's such a nice kind of community effort, and it's been great to see the community really respond to that. So our job in communications is to just get the word out about how easy and good it is to liquid stake with Marinade, and just how user friendly Solana is in general. I think we're all big advocates of what Solana is doing, and whenever we're introducing liquid staking and Solana to new people, a lot of times their eyes light up. So it's a matter of really just showcasing everything we're doing.
Cool. Well, your work is definitely having an effect. So nice to see the way you deal with the communications work group within the DAO as well. It's a really cool vibe. So thanks, man. And I might extend or give the microphone to Gekon, the one who has the shrimp NFT, the legendary shrimp NFT in his profile picture. And Gekon has been working really hard with the liquidity mining program and tokenomics. What would be the main highlight since December, from your point of view, related to the tokenomics side of things, Gekon?
Hello. I think since the original forum post about utility of MNDE, we've made a lot of work, or we've done a lot of work on actually like making the proposed ideas a reality. So one of the topics we wanted to slowly introduce today is Marinade governance. So brief refresher, the Marinade started in the summer last year, and Marinade token has been out since October. I think the mint happened at the end of September, and we started releasing the token via liquidity mining over like several partners. Right now, you can get the token if you are like holding and using MSOL in like most high profile services on Solana, and we are constantly like trying to talk to other projects how to introduce MND incentives and how to actually introduce MSOL into their products. But the valid critique so far is, what is the token really doing? Like, I think in the crypto sphere, we are moving away from just owning stuff and being content to stuff needs to have some utility. It needs to have some polish. It needs to have some glam attached to it. And we've been working hard on that. So maybe like this is really like the important time to introduce a couple of this concept. Let me start with like two main points. One is after a few months, Marinade governance on chain will be coming online in respective weeks. And second, the NFT we kind of teased already back in, it was early November in Lisbon on Breakpoint, will be a huge part of that. So thanks everyone who was like along the conversations with us to help us get here. We are now doing the final touches, and like let's introduce those concepts separately. I would like to actually invite Angus to speak more about how the governance is going to be working before I get back to explaining the NFT sitting on top of that. So Angus, what's our governance model?
Let's circle back to that in a bit. I think we should head over to the MSOL update of this little session of ours first. And then later on, we'll just quickly address Marinade's commitment to decentralization, what that really means. And since you brought up the MSOL here, Jirka, perhaps you would like to talk about the status of MSOL and what separates MSOL from others in the market, from your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, like the value proposal for MSOL is really still the same. We are supporting the ecosystem as its whole. We are not concentrating to get the best APY, but instead we are like trying to push the wall space up. That's what it means to staking to over 400 validators. We are now talking to like important ecosystem, like cultural projects that are aligned with our values, to maybe like take over some of the education process. Because if we really want to decentralize Solana, it means bringing new people in, bringing new validators in, getting them like proper support to start validating and to break even. And Marinade is doing that by delegating Sol, and like we try to like open this even more for the Marinators. So MSol, you can get it anywhere, you can use it anywhere. All the lending services in Solana outside of Jet, that is still coming like mostly online. Most in all of the big pools, and even some that are still like in beta. For example, Affinity is what I'm having big hopes on. We are slowly working to get MSol, or like we are working as fast as possible, but the actual speed turns out to be slow. To get MSol to be a huge actor in NFT space. And what else? We are now kind of like approaching bigger services, maybe outside of Solana, that have some requirements about what staking could be, and we are trying to see how we can work together. I need to be cryptic here because it's not completely finished, but the mission really we have is like MSol replaces the Sol eventually, because it just makes sense. And I think we're just making steps forward in the direction.
Yeah. Cool, thanks for that. And connected to the MSol thing, obviously, is Marinade's commitment to decentralization and securing Solana and making it censorship resistant. And I was thinking, Michael, I'm not sure your situation over there on the train, but are you able to shed some light on Marinade's commitment to decentralization?
Let me check. Do you hear me all good?
I'll hear it just fine.
Yeah, sure. So, like in the 2022 article that we shared out, we were thinking like the two main goals are to keep on decentralizing Solana. So that would mean to keep on doing what we're doing, to keep supporting, I guess, as many validators as reasonably can, to help out to set up new validators as well. But at the same time, we are thinking that we also should start like with Marinade, since for the past month, I would say that we were mostly focused on the MSol utility to make sure that it is pretty much everywhere and accepted everywhere. And now it's time to make like the MNDE into the whole picture as well. So as I would say, like from the super beginning, it was on the decentralization, like on the delegation strategy itself, that it was the thing that went and delegated to the like hundreds of validators just by formula. So if, open source, permissionless, you can spin up your own validator and get staked by Marinade as long as you fit in the formula. So that's great about it. But as we go, we are thinking that the formula itself is just a start, and we are now about to invite like the MNDE holders, the Marinade DAO, to be a part of this decision strategy and to allow people to actually steer the formula, to give them a chance to really say how should Marinade delegate, because it will be this community-owned project in the end that will decide how it goes. So yeah, we prepare some steps to test it out, and I'm excited to see it coming with the upcoming governance launch and everything.
Cool, thanks for that. That really covers it, I think. And you guys heard it. Marinade token will play a big part in Marinade overall, and how we should deal with those millions and millions of sold staked through Marinade. It will be absolutely huge, and I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to go forward with this discussion and talk with Angus and Gekon again about the governance and the NFT and the connection to the Marinade token, the MNDE token. What's the plan and how will it really work? Angus?
Yeah,
what do you think?
So we're introducing an NFT that will lock MNDE within, and users can mint an NFT, and lock their MNDE, and then they can use that for governance. So we're going to use a modified version of Tribeca for governance, and initially users will be able to launch proposals as well as voting on validator delegation. So which validators we delegate our SOL to. So this is coming in the next few weeks, and we're really excited because this is a new way of doing governance, locking it via NFTs, and it also introduces a playful element because the NFTs will have cool art and they'll be collectible, so it'll give users an incentive to participate in the governance. So I'm wondering, it might be a good opportunity to share a few teasers about these NFTs.
Yeah, I'll add a few right now into the chat.
Splendid. And maybe I can take quickly over and nail a few more points down about the governance and NFT, if you don't mind, Angus.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
So first, let's address the open issue, like why is governance taking so long? And there are like two points I think that needs to be set. First, Solana is not Ethereum, and a lot of the infrastructure that you know from other chains and other projects are just getting built on Solana. And second, governance is really like the most critical part of the project in a way, because in governance, the process of handing over the controls, kind of taking off the training wheels, happens for any project that tries to be really decentralized. So it's better be done in a robust way, not in a quick way. And that's why we took our time to finally launch it. In the process, we actually started with SPL governance done by Solana Labs and migrated to Tribeca, which is done by its own DAO, and Saber team participates heavily on developing it. For a particular reason, we realized that voting on validators, or actually on staking delegation, and maybe later to also include voting on incentives will be a big part of that. And Tribeca has a solution for that already. I think those people who are active in like the DeFi ecosystem might have met voting on Saber liquidity mining incentives, and that's basically a similar concept. So that shortens our development time significantly. And then we are trying to put our own spin on that. That is the NFT. So similar as in Saber or maybe Curve, if you are familiar, you will be depositing the Marinade tokens into governance to be able to vote. And we'll do this one more thing. On top of the deposit, we'll issue, the contract that will be owned by the DAO will issue a cool looking NFT. That actually opens an important avenue that I want to stress out. You are able to, instead of waiting for tokens to unlock from the governance in some time, you are able to actually move or sell the NFT and selling all those underlying tokens locked inside the governance with it. So this basically creates a whole new secondary market for the governance token. And it's really connected to unlocking liquidity. That's been a mission of Marinade. We're actually going to be releasing article about these details quite soon, but I wanted to nail this point down so you understand what it means. It's giving you option to govern and giving you a liquid way out if you are able to buy a buyer on the NFT market to take over your position. Now, I think one of the memes we had that were originally in the forum is that we used a term exciting, that holding MND should be exciting, and it's not that. I think the NFT is or is a potential way how to get the excitement, not just from governance and participating in the heavy decision, but having fun with a cool looking chef that has like some fun traits like you would expect from Marinade branding. So I think Brandon already shared some previews into the chat. My role here is to say NFTs will have like typical like rarity and traits that might be like unique or rare across the set, but these traits and this rarity, while being a standard in the NFT world, does not actually translate anyway to like the underlying MND position. So if you lock 1,000 tokens into a governance and you get an NFT, it might have some rarity, but your tokens are still 1,000 tokens, and there's like a backstop of price. If you want to speculate on what's rare and what's not rare, you can, but we are doing it for fun. The reality of tokens being locked in the governance should always remain there, and I want to spend like a minute here to like nail this point down, so you know that we are not just creating a speculation game, but instead trying to do a fun twist onto a governance. Yeah, what else? I think like the actual game of governing Marinade will start with people minting NFTs, putting forward proposals, voting on them, discussing them on the forums. Up to now, it's been like a small team of chefs, which expanded to like 50 people, sure. So that is impressive. But now it's really every token holder will have a say onto, and we'll have a vote onto where Marinade is going. For us, and for me personally, this is like the big players game. This is the real thing. This is the decentralization in action. Personally, I'm really excited to get there in our own pace, or actually with our own quality bar untouched. So I just want to invite all of you in to play around, to mint the NFTs and have fun. That's it, I guess. Let's tackle the rest with the questions. Back to you, Seb.
Cool. Thanks for that. It's gonna be cool to see some of these NFTs are gonna have like limited edition rarities to them and so on for those who likes that as well. So I think we're managing to encompass the whole spectrum of NFTs, but like you said, so in such a good way. Like it's actually underlying value here to these NFTs. It's not some random PFP, you know. Cool. So, does anybody, Angus, do you have anything to add to the NFT side of the governance?
I mean, not really. I think that GetCon's made a really good summary of everything. I mean, all that I will say is that I'm super excited about the art. I think the art looks great, and I think Ellie has done a fantastic job with it. And I'm really excited to see all the when the collection's finished and seeing everything. So I think it's something that's really cool and exciting, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. So that's what I will say.
Cool. All right then. So I suppose that it's time for us to address some of the questions we have here from the community in the Open Kitchen AMA chat. But before we do that, there's gonna be a small contest for the audience here. So everybody who has the Marinator role, just post the following emoji in the chat, which will mean that you will be participant in a lottery for 200 Marinade tokens. Just post that Marinade logo, token logo type in the chat, that gives you that ticket to the lottery. And after this AMA is over, we're going to spin that wheel and see who won those 200 Marinade tokens. And while there's a lot of emojis coming in here to the chat, I'm going to try to find some of the questions that has been asked. And there's plenty of interesting questions. K5, I'm going to start off with your question. And I'm just going to post a link to the question here as well, as per the routine I always do. So the question number 1 is from K5, and it is as follows. What are the advantages/disadvantages to wrap lock tokens into one NFT?
I'm happy to take over this question. So disadvantages, I can speak like loudly. We basically needed to think through and develop the concept ourselves. So we tried to build it on what was available, but ended up heavily adjusting the infrastructure to achieve what we needed. So we have a fork of Candy Machine, and we are like customizing the Tribeca, including the Tribeca UI, to be able to achieve this. So the biggest disadvantage is really the opportunity cost. We could have spent that time of people and their attention and their energy on something else, but we didn't, because we think this is important. What are the advantages? Advantages is it's like locked tokens inside governance is a proven concept which we want to use. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, but this approach is basically illiquid. So we kind of wanted to provide our own perspective how to unlock the value to change hands in case it's possible. We already experimented with NFT. If you do a delayed unstake on Marinade, you are given like an NFT receipt. So the obvious way was to expose that NFT to your eyes. So putting a cooler on that and then make it tradable. So you can sell it or you can buy it depending on your like investment preferences. And this actually opens like a lot of fun stuff to explore, and we don't even have full understanding how it's going to evolve. So we will have rarity inside the art. We will have tiers. And you will be able to read about this in the article coming out. But it's not just going to be like one size of animal. We will actually create a different art for the different underlying position. So your NFT will look different, obviously different if you lock 1,000 MND inside the governance, whether if you lock 100,000 MND inside the governance. So in a way, this kind of connects the social capital to the actual capital, and that is a fun thing to do, we hope. It also creates an arbitrage opportunity, because if people will be selling the MNDE NFTs on the market for cheap, you can instead sell your liquid MND on the liquid market and buy this stable positions for a discount. So we think, and we are discussing it with the NFT marketplaces, there is an opportunity for arbitrage. And arbitrage means the market is a bit ineffective, but also healthy. So this is interesting opportunity. And then the wall fun is, wall art is fun. Getting the Marinade branding into your wallet is something that's basically creating like a tight connection between the project and your private keys. We kind of hope, and I hope that the team will lead by example. I will definitely do that, to set up like a chef as your profile picture. For me, I'm spending all of my work time in Marinade, so I kind of want to represent. So this is like this is like a way how to express what project you are supporting inside Discord, inside Twitter, or on Twitter or on Telegram. This could be a nice advantage onto that thing. Yeah, I think I've covered that. Thanks.
Cool. So, keep 5 thumbs up from you. I'm glad you're satisfied with that answer. I think it was awesome. So let's move forward to the next question. The question number 2 is from Waija. And it's a valid question. So it is as follows. Almost 80% of the investors have focused on the price of the token in the short term instead of understanding the real value of the project. What is your strategy to attract new users and investors to your platform and keep them there for the long term? It's a good question. Anybody want to address this?
Again, I can, since Michael got disconnected on the train. I think Marinade has been community-led project, part of because we are going after the long tail, part of because the people who have maybe like tighter risk profiles are really kind of bound to a limited set of options. For example, like a retirement fund will not going to play on Solana because the whole blockchain is still trying to prove itself. If you remember the recent shortages. So for us, we've been really like able to create an amazing community of people who are like on top of the things. They are like kind of flowing together with the river stream. You can see how much liquidity is there in MSOL. It's basically one of the most liquid pairs going, or like pushing the biggest volumes. In case something happens, you can interact with it in like literally like most of the biggest Solana projects, and like these things and these people, these investors, this attention has been thanks to the Marinade's kind of like values vibe. Also, like no VC money was supporting that. We were able to create an independent project that can make good decisions, not just profit maximizing decisions. And here we are at the point where like we've like need to reach higher, and how to do that, how to get those like long-term thinking people and projects onto our site is a question we are actually tackling. And finally, the NFT project is a way towards that. If you lock your tokens inside the governance, you can only unlock them after 30 days. So whoever buys an NFT from an open market, he's with us guaranteed for 30 days. And in those 30 days, in sort of like a retention loop, we have an opportunity to really get them inside and to care about and to see for themselves how we are building things. So this is one way to go. Now imagine if Marinade Treasury means an NFT with like a few of those tokens and offer them to be purchased by anyone. It means there could be like no slippage, because really right now the Marinade token or MNDE token is not the most liquid on the market. There's like an Orca pair with like I think 2.5 million liquidity depth. So if like a big fund or big VC firm wants to buy, and even in like a public open way, there's really no liquidity to support that. Obviously, we are at the start, but if they want to get in, they either need to like propose a proposal on a forum or via governance that doesn't exist yet, or once the governance gets online in like 3 weeks and the NFTs can hit the market, they can buy in without a slippage by getting the NFT, and suddenly this like part of the problem disappears. The slippage is there, the volume can be there, and we need to be focused on how to keep these people in instead of how to get them in. That being said, this is like a technical problem. One of the key challenges, in a good way, for Marinade is how to become the project part of Solana infrastructure Lucio was speaking about in the beginning of this call. There literally isn't any other way than to be open and work with everyone, because ultimately we should have the same goals. That means like the biggest project should be part of Marinade. The biggest market makers maybe should have a stake in Marinade and influence the stuff in the open to get like Solana where it needs to be. Maybe external like completely different projects that are not or funds that are not investing into crypto right now might start doing that, since inflation is like at all-time high across the world, and they might be looking into something that's credibly neutral, that doesn't have any previous like VC funding. We could be the place for that in case they like contribute, in case they are part of discussion, because that's what we need. So that's been kind of a long question, the long answer to a simple question. I think we need to learn how to keep these people in. Right now, the barriers to getting them in will disappear. That's what I want to say. Back to you, Seb.
Cool. Thanks for that. And with that said, we'll just move forward to the next question then. And this question is from Mr. Zero. I think that makes it question number 3, right? And the question is as follows, and it's a very valid question. How many Marinade tokens are locked for NFT? So is there any tiers? What's the requirements?
I can answer, or Angus?
Sure. I mean, I can answer. Why not? So yes, there are tiers, and the tiers, there's a minimum of 1,000 MND per NFT, and then there are going to be tiers that if a user locks more MND, they'll get a special NFT, so to speak. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but the NFTs will be different depending on how much MND you locked, and that's the idea behind that. Is it's an incentive to get it to put a little bit more in, so you get a more special NFT. But to reiterate, that still doesn't affect rarity. So rarity will still be an NFT with a low number locked could still be the same level of rarity as one with a high number locked as well. And there will be 5 different tiers for NFTs. So yes, that is how it would work. Anything to add, Gekon?
Yeah, maybe like just let's create like a monthly loss. So the lowest NFT you can get is by locking 1,000 MND, which is I think at the current market price something like $200. The highest tier of NFT starts with 250,000 MND. So, but it's not limited. You can lock in more. And in the future, we want to work on like first enabling the NFT owners to deposit more MND, and also like to move them between the tiers. So if you now create or mint the lowest tier and you acquire some more MND, you should be able after the first release to like add more inside your NFT, and if it reaches the threshold of the next tier, you should be able to upgrade it so your Marinade chef visually grows, and you can feel some sense of pride and accomplishment. And if you set it up as your PFP, other people should be able to see that as well. Yes? No?
Cool. So let's move forward to another question then. I think I found one interesting. And this is from Cogent Crypto, one of our dear validator friends. And I'm going to get you guys the link in case I read it in a bad way. I think this would be question number 4, right? The question is as follows. Any plans to have the NFTs or the Marinade token available as collateral in DeFi? One of the main things that prevents me from loading up on MNDE is that there's no DeFi options. So what would be the reply to that?
Again, I can answer. It looks like my show, so I need to change it for the next AMA. Like having an NFT with an underlying MND position, so having a different than just a speculation value, kind of opens the door to having it as a collateral in DeFi. That's completely valid. I think we don't have anything like secured yet, but we started speaking with a couple of protocols who are doing this collateralization of NFTs. So maybe I'm hopeful. I think like the opportunity is there, and here maybe instead of like asking passively, I think you can contribute. If you see a protocol that collateralizes NFTs, you are able to approach them and say that Marinade is doing something weird, and to point their attention towards us. Anyway, we'll be working on getting the attention ourselves. Just like a voice from the community always helps in getting stuff out sooner. Thanks.
Thanks for that answer, Cogent. I hope you like that. And we'll move forward to the next question. I think this would be question number 5. From Massimiliano, a dear Italian friend. And your question is as follows. Well, in which secondary markets will the NFTs be listed? Do we have any information regarding that already, or
it's not sure. Confirmed yet? It's not confirmed, but I think we can tell that we are in touch with most of the Solana marketplaces. We also want some custom stuff, so it depends on the amount of support and energy these teams have on the roadmap to make space for us. If there's some preference, like tell us in the chat or in Marinade's forum. I think like having inputs from the community is the best material we can work with.
And let me follow up on that as well. We are continuously always looking at what the community has to say. We're following all the chats and all the forum posts. And there's plenty of the things we've done for Marinade since we launched August last year on the mainnet. There's plenty of things we've done and developed in accordance to what we saw the community wanted. So if you have any ideas of what Marinade could do, if there's any integration or partnership you think would be awesome, or a function of Marinade or tool or something, just voice that in our chats or write a forum post about it. And you can be sure that the chats see what's up and what you're writing there. So that's a great way of getting more involved with the Marinade DAO as well. So keep that in mind. So let's move forward to another question here. And that is question number 6, I guess. And we're getting close to the 1 hour mark here. So after this question, I think we can address one last one. So this question was asked now very recently from Majik Hanna. And that is, any plans to be of any of the hacker houses? I would love to meet the chefs. So what hacker house are we planning to visit? And well, I can address that myself. We will be in Prague in the first week of March, I believe. Gekon, you are in Prague, from Prague. Maybe you could help me shed some light on the hacker house event over there.
I am just a regular attendee, I guess. Like there will be like several, I think, Marinade team members and Marinade DAO members in Prague attending the hacker house that's happening, I think, between 1st and 6th of March. And that's really the plan we've been like having in mind. Prague is cool. So if you have free time in the first week of March, we'll be happy to see you there. and around it. I think there will be some like dinners or something, Marinade themed. We're just like trying to brainstorm about that. But it would be really cool to meet up with you, all of you.
Yeah, it will be a cool happening there. I think the previous hacker houses, I haven't been to one myself, but there seemed to be really nice vibe going on there. It kind of reminds me of old school LAN party, LAN party. When you brought your PCs, computers to a friend's house and just sat there and had fun for a weekend. I love that kind of a vibe. Did that a lot when I was younger. So I'm looking forward to the hacker house in Prague. And if you guys are interested in looking into what that is, I would advise you to go to the Solana website and find the relevant information to it there. But I'm sure that we are going to update you guys as well as we are there as well with some cool live updates. The same way we did when we were at Lisbon for the Breakpoint conference. So let me find one other question. I had one prepared here. 1 second. So here we go. This will be the last question, and it's from Pixels Poet. Pretty cool name. And the question is as follows: there are many DAOs coming out every day. How do you plan to not be another DAO in the ocean? And yeah, it's true. Like we're seeing these NFT DAOs popping up like never before. And what makes us different from other DAOs? Yeah, Lucio or Gekko, do you have anything to add to this?
Oh yeah. I like this is awesome question. So let's start with that. First, let me attack the question itself before answering it. I honestly believe DAOs are the future of coordination. With like governments has been kind of inefficient unless they are authoritative governments lately. I think everyone is disappointed except the people on New Zealand with the recent COVID crisis. And startups are inefficient because they are rewarding the most early people and early investors. So DAO and Web3 spirit is really the way to go. It scales way better than startups, and hopefully it can create as robust decisions as government without the bureaucracy and without basically like people just doing a bad capital allocations, because DAOs should by definition good capital allocators. That being said, or like that kind of leads that being a DAO at this time means being on something cool that's gonna take over the future, not just one of the many. That being said, how to create a healthy DAO is an actual Steelman question we should be answering. And for us, it starts with the on-chain governance, as we spoke, because you can tell that voting in the Discord or having recently voting on my Francium, which is like a fresh wallet, is easy to exploit, easy to cheat. So on-chain is really like the uncompromisable bottom line that we need to create, and then create a culture actually, and the governance process that pushes things forward. Culture means we will probably have right now we kind of understand everyone, and everyone understands everyone, but to be able to scale, we need to put together some like codex of values and inclusivity, and really like to create not an echo chamber, but a point where ideas can be exchanged and attacked without attacking the people coming with their ideas. That's for me like an aspiration, how to be like working DAO. It means some level of processes, but if we want to attract the best people, it's maybe not creating too much or too many processes, because processes often cap also the ceiling, not just prevent like going below the floor. So it's really like working with the people that are engaged and keep them engaged, and then like sharing and delivering on the mission the DAO shares. For Marinade, it's decentralizing Solana. It's like trying to create like no bullshit organization where you can like work towards like your goals with people that share the same value and approach. It's becoming like a key participant in Solana security. It's enabling people to succeed, be it validators or DeFi projects, or just like Solana holders, by giving them an API in a decentralized way that creates synergistic effects. That's for me like a part of the recipe how to create a DAO that can be looked at as a good example, as like a success story in Solana ecosystem. So how how to create a good DAO? It's looking around to see and learn from mistakes others are doing and try to not repeat them. Essentially, if you have some opinions on that, like join the conversation. Please join the conversation.
Thanks for that. Very nice way of elaborating on what is a DAO and the future of it. Like it is to an extent a real possibility to revolutionize the way we collaborate with each other as people within a group. Thanks for that. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah,
John, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I can just add a little bit on what Gekon already mentioned, that because I feel it from a project's perspective that we grew really fast and we want to have processes in place, but we also don't want to limit people in their creativity and stuff. And we already had examples of teams, being that external teams joining somehow Marinade and working on their own projects. So we do already have some processes in place where teams can come in and either pick some ideas that we were sitting on for a while, or they can even bring their own project proposals, and hopefully we can just offer them our tools and processes that will make their work more efficient, and they can start building and participating and contributing to the whole Marinade ecosystem. But at the same time, it takes time, it takes some experimenting, and we therefore also ask the community to be patient with us in case they want to join, or they want to take on the project, or they want to just become a contributor. Yeah, I think we already have some processes and stuff done, but it will be still work in progress going forward.
Yeah, thanks for adding that to the conversation. I think that was really important to remind everybody and highlight that we're helping other projects in this sense as well, and that they can reach out to us. Cool. So I think we've covered most of the things here. Obviously, we cannot cover every single aspect in 1 hour. But if you want to learn more about Marinade token and the coming NFTs, just head over to our blog and read the latest blog posts there. And also head over to our forum and read the forum posts to get acquainted with the vibe of the community and the perspective of things there as well. And yeah, I think we should thank everybody for taking their time and listening to this and to get up to date with what's happening here. And hopefully we could do this again soon. And yeah, thanks everybody for taking your time. And see you tomorrow in the Alpha League racing event, which is going to be really funny to try out as well, with some really pretty decent prize pool as well for the possible winners. You can win NFTs, you can win MSOL and so on. More about that tomorrow. So thanks again, everybody. And thanks, chefs, for taking your time with us, and talk to you all soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, and thanks for hosting.
Thank you for listening with me. Listening to me. It's been long, I know. Bye.
All right, so gonna close down the stage here now, and see you guys in the chat. Bye bye.